Eurylochus straight hasted the report of this his fellow's most remorseful fate, came to the ships, but so excruciate was with his woe, he could not speak a word. His eyes stood full of tears, which showed how stored his mind with moan remained. We all admired, asked what had chanced him, earnestly desired he would resolve us. At the last our eyes inflamed in him his fellow's memory, and out his grief burst thus. You willed, we went through those thick woods you saw, when a descent showed us a fair house, in a lightsome ground, where at some work we heard a heavenly sound, breathed from a goddess's, or from a woman's breast. They knocked, she oped her bright gates, each her guest her fair invitement made, nor would they stay, fools that they were, and when she once led the way, I entered not, suspecting some deceit. When all together vanished, nor the sight of any one, though long I looked, mine eye could any way discover. Instantly my sword and bow reached. I bade show the place. When down he fell, did both my knees embrace, and prayed with tears thus. O thou kept of God, do not thyself lose, nor to that abode lead others rashly. Both thyself and all thou venturest thither, I know well, must fall in one sure ruin. With these few then fly, we yet may shun the other's destiny. I answered him, Eurylochus, stay thou, and keep the ship then, eat and drink. I now will undertake the adventure. There is cause in great necessity's unaltered laws. This said, I left both ship and seas, and on along the sacred valleys all alone went in discovery, till at last I came where of the main medicine-making dame I saw the great house, where encountered he the golden rod sustaining Mercury, even entering Circe's doors. He met me in a young man's likeness, of the first flowered chin, whose form hath all the grace of one so young. He first called to me, then my hand he wrung, and said, Thou no place finding for repose, whither alone by these hill confines goes thy erring foot? Thou'rt entering Circe's house, where, by her medicines black and sorcerous, thy soldiers all are shut in well-armed sties, and turned to swine. Art thou arrived with prize fit for their ransom? Thou comest out no more, if once thou enterest, like thy men before, made to remain here. But I'll guard thee free, and save thee in her spite. Receive of me this fair and good receipt, with which, once armed, enter her roofs, for thou'rt to all proof charmed against the ill day. I will tell thee all her baneful counsel. With a festival she'll first receive thee, but will spice thy bread with flowery poisons, yet unaltered shall thy firm form be, for this remedy stands most approved against all her sorcery, which thus particularly shun. When she shall with her long rod strike thee, instantly draw from thy thigh thy sword, and fly on her as to her slaughter. She, surprised with fear and love, at first will bid thee to her bed, nor say the goddess nay, but that welcome thou mayst with all respect be, and procure thy fellows' freedoms. But before, make sure her favours to thee, and the great oath take with which the blessed gods assurance make of all they promise, that no prejudice, by stripping thee of form and faculties, she may so much as once attempt on thee. This said, he gave his antidote to me, which from the earth he plucked, and told me all the virtue of it, with what deities call the name it bears, and moly they impose for name to it. The root is hard to loose from hold of earth by mortals, but God's powers can all things do. 'Tis black, but bears a flower as white as milk, and thus flew Mercury up to immense Olympus, gliding by the sylvan island. I made back my way to Circe's house, my mind of my essay much thought revolving. At her gates I stayed and called. She heard, and her bright doors displayed, invited, led. I followed in, but traced with some distraction. In a throne she placed my welcome person. Of a curious frame 'twas, and so bright I sat as in a flame, a footstool added. In a golden bowl she then suborned a potion, in her soul to form things thinking, for amidst the wine she mixed her man-transforming medicine. which then she saw I had devoured. She then no more observed me with her soothing vein, but struck me with her rod, and to her sty bade, Out, away, and with thy fellows lie. I drew my sword and charged her, as I meant to take her life. When out she cried, and bent beneath my sword her knees, embracing mine, and full of tears said, Who? Of what high line art thou the issue? Whence? What shore sustain thy native city? I amazed remain, that drinking these my venoms thou art not turned. Never drunk any this cup, but he mourned another likeness, if it once had passed the ivory bounders of his tongue and taste. All but thyself are brutishly declined. Thy breast holds firm yet, and unchanged thy mind. Thou canst be therefore none else but the man of many virtues, Ithacensian, deep-souled Ulysses, who, I oft was told, by that sly god that bears the rod of gold, was to arrive here in retreat from Troy. Sheathe then thy sword, and let my bed enjoy so much a man, that, when the bed we prove, we may believe in one another's love. I then, O Circe, why entreat'st thou me to mix in any human league with thee, when thou my friends hast beast turned? And thy bed tenderest to me, that I might likewise lead a beast life with thee, softened, naked, stripped, that in my blood thy banes may more be steeped. I never will ascend thy bed before I may affirm that in heaven's sight you swore the great oath of the gods, that all attempt to do me ill is from your thoughts exempt. I said, she swore, when, all the oath rites said, I then ascended her adorned bed, but thus prepared. 4 handmaids served her there, the daughters to her silver fountains were, to her bright sea observing sacred floods, and to her uncut consecrated woods. One decked the throne tops with rich cloths of state, and did with silks the footpace consecrate. Another silver table set before the pompous throne, and golden dishes store served in with several feasts. A third filled wine, the fourth brought water, and made fuel shine in ruddy fires beneath a womb of brass. Which heat I bathed, and odorous water was dispurpled lightly on my head and neck, that might my late heart-hurting sorrows check with the refreshing sweetness. And for that, men sometimes may be something delicate. Bathed and adorned, she led me to a throne of massy silver and of fashion exceeding curious. A fair footstool set, water opposed, and every sort of meat set on the elaborately polished board. She wished my taste employed, but not a word would my ears taste of taste. My mind had food that must digest, eye meat would do me good. Circe, observing that I put no hand to any banquet, having countermand for weightier cares, the light cates would excuse, bowing her near me, these winged words did use. Why sits Ulysses like one dumb, his mind's lessening with languors, nor to food inclined, nor wine? Whence comes it? Out of any fear of more illusion? You must needs forbear that wrongful doubt, since you have heard me swear. O Circe, I replied, what man is he awed with the rights of true humanity that dares taste food or wine before he sees his friends redeemed from their deformities? If you be gentle and indeed inclined to let me taste the comfort of your wine, dissolve the charms that their forced forms enchain, and show me here my honored friends like men. This said, she left her throne and took her rod, went to her sty, and let my men abroad, like swine of 9 years old. They opposite stood, observed their brutish form, and looked for food. When, with another medicine, every one all over smeared, their bristles all were gone, produced by malice of the other bane, and every one afresh looked up a man, both younger than before, and of stature more, and all their forms much goodlier. All knew me, clinged about me, and a cry of pleasing mourning flew about so high the hard roof resounded, and the queen herself was moved to see our kind so keen, who bade me now bring ship and men ashore, our arms and goods in caves hid, and restore myself to her, with all my other men. I granted, went, and oped the weeping vein in all my men, whose violent joy to see my safe return was passing kindly free of friendly tears, and miserably wept. You have not seen young heifers, highly kept, filled full of daisies at the field, and driven home to their hovels, all so sprightly given that no room can contain them, but about base by the dams, and let their spirits out in ceaseless bleating, of more jocund plight than my kind friends, even crying out with sight of my return so doubted, circled me with all their welcomes, and as cheerfully disposed their rapt minds, as if there they saw their natural country, cliffy Ithaca, and even the roofs where they were bred and born, and vowed as much with tears. Oh, your return as much delights us as in you had come our country to us, and our natural home. But what unhappy fate hath reft our friends? I gave unlooked-for answer, that amends made for their mourning, bade them first of all our ship ashore draw, then in caverns stall our foody cattle, hide our mutual prize. And then, said I, attend me, that your eyes in Circe's sacred house may see each friend eating and drinking banquets out of end. They soon obeyed, all but Eurylochus, who needs would stay them all, and counselled thus, O wretches, whither will ye? Why are you fond of your mischiefs, and such gladness show for Circe's house, that will transform ye all to swine, or wolves, or lions? Never shall our heads get out, if once within we be, but stay compelled by strong necessity. So wrought the Cyclop, when 'tis cave our friends this bold one led on, and brought all their ends by his one indiscretion. I for this thought with my sword, the desperate head of his hewn from his neck, to gash upon the ground his mangled body, though my blood was bound in near alliance to him. But the rest with humble suit contained me, and request, and I would leave him with my ship alone, and to the sacred palace led them on.